Okay, I think I'm live now. So hello to everyone at the Booking Manager Summit. How exciting is this? I'm sorry I can't be there with you live today. I would have loved to have been, but thanks to the crazy year that we've had in 2020, I'm here with you virtually, and we're going to cover some amazing tips on social selling. So let me get my slides ready to go, and then we will dig in. I hope everyone who's watching this live in Croatia is comfortable, and anyone who's tuning in and watching this remotely is ready to go. So let's get this ready. Here we go. We should be live. Today, I'm going to be talking to you about 3 steps to getting started on social selling. I wanted a kind of introduction to social selling, but I wanted to break it down into 3 easy to digest, simple steps that everyone watching this can go away and implement straight away. You can take it, start it yourselves, start it with your teams, but 3 simple steps to go. So excited to get started today. There'll be questions at the end, and for anyone that has questions after today's session, I'll make sure you've got my contact details. Pop me a message or an email and I'll be happy to answer them. So a quick introduction for anyone who doesn't know who I am. My name is Daniel Disney. I am a LinkedIn social selling trainer, speaker, and author. I'm author of the book, The £1 Million LinkedIn Message. I'm also the founder of The Daily Sales, which is LinkedIn's most popular page for salespeople. My passion is helping businesses, salespeople, sales teams leverage LinkedIn to its full potential as a sales tool. So turning LinkedIn into something that generates leads and sales on a consistent basis. And today I'm going to be sharing with you some tips for you to be able to do the same. Now, I came from absolute zero when it comes to LinkedIn. I had 0 personal brand, I had 0 followers, and I had 0 engagement. I started right at the same start line that everyone else starts on. I had no advantages. I didn't know what to do. I wasn't a content creator. I was a salesperson. My background is making cold calls, knocking on doors. Selling is everything I've done. So everything on LinkedIn was a total strange concept for me. And the reality was I was just an unknown salesperson, sales leader based in the south of the UK. That's it. No one would know who I was. But over the last 7 to 8 years now, through the things I'm going to share with you today, I've been able to grow a huge audience on LinkedIn, create a lot of content that reaches a lot of people, and generate a lot of money that has come from leads and sales from LinkedIn. So today I'm going to share with you the 3 kind of core areas that helped me build to this type of level. And obviously, doing it on a consistent basis was a key part of it. But before we dig into those 3 steps, I just want to sort of uncover kind of what wraps around it is your personal brand. And I just want to explain what a personal brand is, because it kind of has a few different names. Some people refer to it as being a thought leader. A professional brand is your business's brand. A personal brand is your brand as an individual. And one of the best ways I describe this is in the world of health and fitness. They say you are what you eat. So if you eat lots of burgers and chips, your body's not going to be operating to its full potential, because that's not the fuel that fuels our human bodies. We need a healthy, balanced diet. In the world of social media, you are what you like, what you click like on, what you comment on, what you share, what you create. So everything you do on social media builds your personal brand, just like everything you eat and what your lifestyle is reflects on your healthiness as a human. So a personal brand is built up of everything that you do on social media and obviously on LinkedIn. So a quick little humorous meme, regular salespeople, they get lost in the background. You don't know or recognize just any old Joe Blog salesperson. But when you get salespeople with personal brands, they stand out. They stand out from the crowd. They become recognizable. And that was one of the penny drop moments for me early on in my career. When I started using LinkedIn consistently, I would go to events and people would recognize me. They would recognize me because of the stuff I was doing on LinkedIn, the content I was sharing, the brand that I was building. And it's a very different shift as a salesperson going to prospects and customers and them not knowing who you are. And you have to work hard to try and build respect and credibility, That's hard in sales. Whereas when you have a personal brand, you go up to prospects and customers and they know who you are. They already respect you. They already have a level of credibility for you. They already trust you to an extent because of the brand you've built up digitally. That's the power that exists behind a personal brand. It's your reputation, it's your respect, it's your trust, it's your brand. It's you as an individual and it's your team as individuals. It's their brand. And I see companies now where their sales reps, their sales team are better at LinkedIn than the marketing department. So I see salespeople with more followers than the company page. That's the power and potential of a personal brand. And it's not just the followers, they're getting leads from it, they're closing business from it, they're increasing their revenue from it, all because of what they're able to do on LinkedIn. And it boils down to this. I'm sure everyone watching knows this. People buy from people. That's the simple truth in sales. You are not going to buy from someone you don't know, like, and trust. If you don't trust someone, you're not going to give them your money, full stop. People buy from people. In sort of low end value ticket items, then yes, maybe it's more of a consumer model where you will click. We spend a certain amount of money online without thinking. But when it comes to higher ticket items, higher priced items, certainly business to business, people need to buy from people. They need to know what they're buying is going to be valuable and deliver on what they hope it delivers, which is why a personal brand is so important, because it shows you as a person, not just another salesperson. So all those salespeople banging out calls after calls, they just tend to come across as salespeople, and no one wants to be sold to. But everyone has problems that they need solving. Everyone needs to buy. So when you can show yourself as a human being, when you can build that personal brand, show them that you are a human who's passionate about helping them, that's where you start to connect with your prospects and customers at a far greater depth. And I always like this, this wonderful quote. There's no more B2B, business to business. There's no more B2C, business to consumer. It's human to human. Humans buy from humans. People buy from people. That's how business works. Gone are the days of the slick salesperson with their cheesy lines and their overconfidence and persuasion techniques. People buy from people that they trust. If you want people to trust you, you need to show them that you are a human being, not someone whose only goal is to sell something. And your personal brand is one of the best ways that you can do that. And that's what we're going to dig into today. So some of the benefits of building a good personal brand: you get tagged in posts on LinkedIn. So when someone writes a post saying, looking for a new booking manager system or a new system for a yacht company, people tag you in. Oh, I'd recommend Dan Disney. He helped us with this. This was the results we had. That's a super hot lead. It increases answer and reply rate. I recently reached out and connected with a CEO of a global company, big company that I was prospecting to. Now, normally when you try and connect with really high up people, it's quite a low conversion for them to accept without a bit of work first. However, this CEO accepted my connection request straight away and messaged me instantly saying, Daniel, your reputation precedes you. Excited to connect. Now, as a salesperson, to have that type of impact on a prospect, someone I've never spoke to, someone who's high up in a prospective company, to have that type of respect already is massive. And that all comes down to personal brand. Helps you build better trust. You create outbound opportunities through the content you share. You generate inbound leads from the content you share, and you grow your business brand awareness. As I said, there are salespeople who do this right that are getting their business's brand further out than the marketing department could ever dream. They're reaching so many more people and helping growing the business at the same time. And it all boils down to 3 simple steps. I'm going to make it as easy as possible for you. Number 1, have a super LinkedIn profile. It is pointless creating amazing content, growing your network, and having all these people come to your profile if your profile's not good. So I'm going to share a few real juicy nuggets on how you could upgrade your LinkedIn profiles today. Number 2, it's growing your network. On Facebook, you can have 5,000 friends. 5,000 seems like a big number. On LinkedIn, you can have 30,000 connections. That's huge. And you can have unlimited followers. So the potential network you can build is massive, and you shouldn't restrict it just to people you think are going to buy from you, because it's a very closed vision approach. I might connect with someone, they might never buy from me, but I don't just connect to them, I connect to their audience as well. So one person is never one person, it's their entire audience as well. And that person might not be the decision maker, but they might be able to introduce you to the decision maker. So once you start to open your eyes a little bit more on LinkedIn, you start to see that the audience capacity is huge, and it just becomes a proactive approach to building it. Number 3, share content every day. So creating good content on LinkedIn on a consistent basis. And I'm going to show you how to create good content on LinkedIn today. And the glue that sticks all the steps together is consistency. This is essentially the 4th step. You need to do this consistently. There is no point doing this today and tomorrow and then just dropping off because you'll get no results. You need to build this into your plan. You need this to be a daily habit. Now, a lot of these things you can do in 15, 20 minutes a day. It's not a lot of time. I'm pretty sure everyone watching this can spare that time, but you need to do it consistently. So my biggest tip after today's session, I hope you apply everything I'm about to cover, but go and book it into your calendar. Book it every day at 9 a.m., every day at 8:30 a.m., whichever time you can fit it in, book it into your calendar and then stick to it. You only need to do that for a few weeks, maybe a month, and it will become habit, and then it will become normal, but you need to do it consistently. That's the only way you're going to get the best results from this. So let's dig in. Number 1 is your profile. Let me show you how to create awesome LinkedIn profiles. So this is what you see when you log in. The 3 things in this screen that you need to take notice on that you probably already looked at are the photo of me in the red t-shirt, the background image, so the image behind my photo, and then the job title. So what you can see here is keynote SEO, sales kickoff speaker, best-selling author, LinkedIn trainer, owner of the daily sales. Those are the 3 key components. So let's just digest through each of these. Profile photo should be shoulders and above in a well-lit environment, smiling, appropriate outfit. So you'll see I've got a t-shirt on with the social selling brand because that is my brand, obviously. But if I was selling and in a normal environment, I would wear a jacket and a shirt, then I would have that type of photo. You need to dress appropriately for the customers that you're serving. This red t-shirt works for me and what I sell. But in the past, when I was selling to IT directors, big technical companies, I would wear shirt and tie and a suit. And obviously that was the image that I had. A one color background is my last tip. So if I quickly go back, you'll see red is obviously the brand. So I have red in my background, obviously red on the t-shirt, and I've put red behind my profile photo as well. Now, a quick little secret, if you look here, there's a white background behind my red t-shirt photo. That was how the photo was taken. There was a white background behind me. Now, what I've done is cut my image out and then just applied a red background. I haven't paid extra. I haven't had to have loads of different photos on different colors, just a simple digital edit that allows me to create what I call LinkedIn profile uniformity. So creating a uniform approach where it looks like it's all connected and it takes a profile to a next level. So yeah, profile photo number 1. Now, I would recommend getting it done professionally if you can. There usually are quite a lot of professional photographers that will do social media headshots. However, if you can't, most of us have really good cameras on our phones, and all you want to do again is find a plain background and get someone to take a decent photo of you. So you can get a pretty decent one done without it having done professionally, but professional is always my recommendation. Then you've got your background. So this is the image that sits behind you. Now, a lot of people, I would say 80% of the profiles I review either have nothing or a plain blank background. There's nothing there, nothing to tell you of what they do or how they might be able to serve you. You need to use this space. This is your billboard. This is your chance to tell anyone viewing your profile who you are and what you do. So obviously for me, mine is focused on selling LinkedIn, social selling, training, speaking, and the book. So that's what that kind of focuses on. Now you can create these really easy and for free on Canva. So canva.com, www.canva.com. It's free to use. They have LinkedIn background templates and it's drag and drop. You can add in your logo, add in the brand coloring, and then just add a few words. Tell people what it is you do. So if I was to redesign mine, I might put just a few words saying helping salespeople sell more with LinkedIn and social selling. So then when people view my profile, that's what they see. They know exactly what I do. And if that's what they're looking for, they're going to read on. Even if it's not what they're looking for at that moment, it's going to plant in their mind. So in few words as possible, you want to tell them what it is you do. All right, next tip, your URL. So whenever you set up your LinkedIn profile, if it was this year, if it was 10 years ago, whenever it was, LinkedIn would have created a unique web address for your profile. And normally it's www.linkedin.com/in/ and then it's XYZ2309 XY47 random numbers and letters. You can change it. So when people are on your profile, the web address reads the linkedin.com/in/ and it could be your name. So mine is /in/ Daniel Disney. Maybe your name's taken. So maybe you add your company name. I might put Daniel Disney Social Selling, Daniel Disney, the Daily Sales. But either way, it looks so much better in the web browser than just those random numbers that make you look like everyone else. So when you go onto your profile, top right-hand corner, edit public profile and URL, same place on the next page, edit URL, and you will be able to customize the last bit of your LinkedIn profile address. It's a 5-minute job max, but that will last you forever. There will be really little reason to change it unless you change your name, obviously, very little reason to change it thereafter, but it makes a big impact when people are on your profile. Then we get to your summary. So again, a lot of people, when they write their LinkedIn profiles, they do it like a CV, like they're going to get a job. So it's usually one paragraph in their LinkedIn summary in the third person talking about how great you are. That is not what's going to work on your customers. You want to make your LinkedIn profiles customer focused. It's not about you, it's about what you can do for them. What can they achieve by working with you? And stretch it out. You'll see here, there is a lot of room, a lot of space available in your LinkedIn profile. So stretch it out. Add those nice spaces in between, have some bullet points, just focus on who do you help? How do you help them? What do you help them achieve? How have you helped similar people? And then finally, how can they get in touch with you if they want to learn more? Your contact details do exist on your profile, but they're hidden. So put it in your summary, make it as easy as possible for people to get in touch with you. You'll see I have a little line here. If you would like to discuss any of the above in more detail, please feel free to message me on LinkedIn or contact me on, and I've got an email address, Twitter handle, website, YouTube channel. If you use your phone, then have your phone number. I couldn't put my phone number on with the audience I have. I would be inundated with cold calls, which is of no benefit to anyone. So I stick to digital communications, but make it as easy as possible for people to get in touch with you. Then we get onto the recommendation section. So this is probably the cherry on top for the LinkedIn profile, one of the best features. We live in a review and recommendation world. I don't buy anything on Amazon unless I read the reviews first. And LinkedIn has this in your profile. You can have, no one is going to be better at selling you than your customers. It doesn't matter how great you are at selling. No one is going to be trusted more than someone who has bought from you and is happy with the service and the product. They are the most effective salespeople in the reality of the business world. And you can have them right on your profile that they are happy with the service and product you provide. So my tip is go back and ask any previous customers for recommendations. And then moving forward, every time you win a new customer, ask them for a recommendation. Don't feel bad about asking. People feel good about giving recommendations. It feels nice. If someone asks you, would you mind writing me a recommendation? I would be honored. It's a nice feeling. So it makes them feel nice. You get a lovely testimonial on your profile. And when you start to build those up, they really start to make an impact. So top tips for your profile for step number 1. Have a professional photo or take a decent one. Have that billboard background. Create a captivating profile summary. Use keywords in your summary. Now, if you follow the tips I shared, you should fill it with most of the keywords that are relevant. Just make sure you have all of the words relevant to your industry. So for me, it might be LinkedIn, social selling, sales, training, coaching, all those sort of things. If you're writing your profile, talking about who you help, how you help them, you should fill it with those keywords naturally. Make it an elevator pitch. Again, you want people to read it and know what it is you do, but how it's going to help them. And always, always, always give and ask for recommendations. So number 2 is grow. So we've got this great profile, fantastic. When people land on it, they're going to know what you do. They're going to be impressed because it looks professional, it looks smart, and it's going to tell them everything that you do that can help them. So that's your perfect LinkedIn profile done. Now what we want to do is we want to grow your audience. We want to grow your network. I always like to look at it that if you're going to go fishing, would you rather fish in a pond that just had 5 or 6 fish in, or would you want to fish in the pond that has 100 fish in? Now, assuming they're all the same size fish, me personally, I'm going to want to fish in the pond that has lots of fish, that has no limit to what I can fish out. I don't want to be limited to 5 or 6 fish, because once I'm done, then that's it. I'm finished. I have no more fish to catch, or in the business analogy, no more business to win. So I want to have an audience as big as possible to help me reach and sell to as many people as possible. And that's how I want you to look at it. Your network is your net worth. We want to fill it with lots of great opportunities. The counter argument is, what about quality versus quantity? Well, I'd rather have 5 or 6 good fish than 5 or 600 tiny little fish. And here's the reality. You can have both. 30,000 connections is your limit. And as I mentioned at the start, they don't need to be just prospects. You are limiting yourself if they're just prospects. Remember, either they might not buy from you, they probably know someone who could buy from you. And if you're connected to them, anytime they like or comment or share your content, it goes to their audience. So all of the prospects that might sit in their audience will be exposed to you, your brand, your product, and hopefully your profile. Equally, even if they're not the buyer, they may be connected to. So if I sell to sales directors, VPs of sales, sales managers, that wouldn't stop me connecting with salespeople, because those salespeople might help get me an introduction to the decision maker, or they might help push what I sell to the decision maker. And I've had salespeople get me bookings by going to the manager and saying, we want this training, this is the person we want, blah, blah, blah. And then they book me. Now, if I was only connecting with decision makers, I might miss those opportunities. So try not to have too much of the tunnel vision, open those eyes, look at the wider opportunities. You'll realize actually having a big network is logical, and you can have quantity and quality. Obviously, don't just connect with anyone and everyone. There may be people that aren't worth having in your network, but that's not something you need to worry about until you get to maybe 25,000 connections. I hit my 30,000 connections about a year ago. So every month I have to delete 100, 200 connections to add in new connections for new prospects and new customers. And that's an unfortunate reality that I hope doesn't reach a point. I think I should be able to keep on top of that. It's hard work, but I don't have to overthink it like I didn't have to overthink it in the build-up stage. So until you get to your limit, don't worry too much about who you connect with. My tip number 1 is add 10 to 20 new connections every single day. And there's a reason I suggest that number. If you add too many connections too quickly, LinkedIn might block you. Now, I've been blocked 6 times in my career. It's usually temporary, maybe 2 to 3 weeks, but that's still 2 to 3 weeks. You can't add new people. However, this year, I've seen 2 people get lifetime bans from LinkedIn. Gone. Can't get access ever again. One of them managed to get it overturned. The other one didn't. It was because they added too many people too quickly. They used software to do it. So they used a third-party platform to add lots of people really quickly, and LinkedIn identifies that as spamming, and they need to protect their users. So to keep it under the radar, 10 to 20 a day is a healthy number. That should keep you under the radar and to avoid getting blocked. And it still is consistent growth. You do that every day, it builds up over time. Another tip with this, you don't have to personalize every single connection request. So when you click connect to someone, it will give you the option to personalize it, to add a message. 80% of the messages I get are sales pitches, and terrible ones at that. I think about 60-70% of my network didn't have any personalized requests, just clicked accept. I think I've seen a lot of people do research that find it's actually more effective to not personalize. What I will say, a personalized message helps when you're connecting with someone higher up the chain. So the more senior they are, the higher up in the business they are, then personalizing it with a good message can help. But anything sort of lower down below a manager, usually they're pretty open and they'll connect with anyone, and actually putting a message in might scare them away. So only put a message when you're connecting with someone higher up. I'm going to give you a few examples of templates that have worked for me. Just a basic, simple one. Hi, Tom. I'd love to connect. Kind regards, Dan. It's simple, but you've put their name in. So you're not just going add. At least Tom knows you want to connect with him, and you're not pitching him. You're not trying to sell him anything. You just want to connect. It's harmless, simple. One of the best ways, if you can, is to reference some of their content. So, hi, Tony, loved your post recently about sales. I'd love to connect. Kind regards, Dan. I might take it a step further and say, Tony, loved your video yesterday about sales. Your 3 points were spot on. Would love to connect, and make a real detailed reference. That's going to compliment Tony. It's going to make him feel good. I'm not trying to sell to him. I've just complimented him, and there's a high chance he's going to accept. Another ways you can kind of grow your network. If you log into LinkedIn and click on the My Network button, LinkedIn's going to suggest people for you to connect with. So based on your existing network, LinkedIn's algorithm is going to find similar people that it thinks you might also benefit from connecting with. So LinkedIn will give you suggestions every day. You could go through, add all of them, and it will keep giving you suggestions. So LinkedIn's going to help you grow your network. So I usually find several good prospects just from LinkedIn's suggestions. And again, that is helped when you fill your network with good, relevant people. So decision makers, other businesses, industry, everything that's relevant to your industry into your network. But LinkedIn will make suggestions for you. Another great sort of often unused way of growing your network is searching content. So as an example, I could type in social selling into the LinkedIn search bar. I can then filter it to content, and LinkedIn's going to show me all of the content around social selling. Now, here are the opportunities. First of all, if we look at this example, Jack could be a prospect. He's posting about social selling. He might be interested in it. So I might get in touch with Jack and say, Jack, loved your 10 social selling automation tools post. Actually, I use a few of them. I'd love to know what training you've done in the world of social selling. Kind regards, Dan. Referencing his post, complimenting it, making it relevant, and asking him a question. Jack could be a prospect. Next, if you look down at the bottom of the screen, you'll see there are 23 likes and 3 comments. I can see all of those. So if I click on those, I will see all 23 people who clicked like, and I will see all 3 people that wrote a comment. Those are 26 people in essence who like to post about social selling, which is what I sell. They could be prospects. So in a single post, there are 27 potential prospects in one post. You can scroll through that all day long, and there will be tons of content with tons of engagement and tons of authors. Lots of sales opportunities. So looking through content can be a great way to find sales opportunities, but more importantly, find people that are interested in your industry that are worth connecting with. And I would probably want to connect with Jack and all 26 engagement people, because they are engaged people that are interested in my industry. So notice that engaged point, that means they're active. They're not just logging in every so often. If they're engaging in content, that shows a pretty decent active level in the world of LinkedIn. So some top tips: add 10 to 20 new connections each day. Think about how that will grow over time. Make some of them prospects, add some industry relevant people, other people within the prospect company. So if I'm targeting a sales director, I'll probably also connect with people in the marketing department, in the senior leadership roles, in lower levels in the sales department and other departments in the business, because not only might they help me provide introductions, but they will be sharing content relevant to that business that's going to help me sell. So I'm using it to learn and gain insights. Personalize if you feel it's needed. Just never personalize with a sales pitch. I've seen some horrendous connection requests come through. A few just to highlight how bad some of them get. I've had some coming through saying, hi, this is my company page. Please follow it. I don't know who you are. Where am I going to follow your page? Or, hi, this is what I sell. Do you want to book a meeting? No, you have to give something first. So personalizing it with a sales pitch. Your goal when connecting with someone is simple: for them to accept. That's it. Don't try and book a meeting, get a phone call, get them to follow your page. You just want them to accept. Bring them into your audience where you can then give value. 20 new connections a day, that's 100 a week, 400 a month, 5,220 a year. It's big growth when you look at the bigger picture. Don't try and fast track it and get to your 30,000 by tomorrow. It's not going to happen. It's going to take time. It took me about 5 years to get to my 30,000. Now, one thing to remember, and we're going to go on to this in step 3, this is manual growth. This is you going out and adding people. Don't forget, you want to make a scenario where people add you. So step 3, which is going to be about content, is going to help then drive people to you. So you might add 20 a day, and you might be able to get 20 people to add you a day. Then you double that growth. Those are the organic ways that you grow fast. You do the proactive approach and you add as much as you can within the limits, but you also build a brand and create content that drives people to then want to connect with you. That's how you grow fast, which takes us on nicely to step 3, which is create. So I want to help you guys create and share content. There are 2 ways we do this. Number 1 is you share other people's content. It's the easiest way to get started. Creating content's a bit of a big step, I guess. Sharing other people's content is okay if you do it right. What a lot of people do is they will find a blog like this. So what is the future of B2B sales? They will click share, they'll share it, and they'll just share it straight to their network. So it's blind shared in essence, and it just appears as the article. People are going to see it and think, so what? Why should I read that? Why have you shared it? So what's important is to share your thoughts and explain why you shared it. So I might write a post like this. Absolutely love this blog by the team at Outreach looking at the future of B2B sales. They dig into some very interesting points. Number 3 has really got me thinking. With the extremely fast evolution of technology, the rise of chatbots, AI, analytics, big data, will all this be an aid for salespeople or a potential blocker? So I'm showing people why it's a good article. I'm creating a bit of intrigue, getting them interested in reading it, and also sparking a bit of a debate, which people can then jump into the comments and let me know their thoughts and opinions. So when you share someone else's content, it's fine to do it. Just make sure you add your thoughts, and then people can get to know you. You're going to increase the amount of people that read that article now because you've given them good reason to do so. And you're starting to show your expertise, your knowledge, your thoughts, and that's how you build a personal brand. What we then want to do is go into the creating content. So I want you to start creating your own content. If you want to build a personal brand, show that you're a human, then you need to start sharing your stories and you need to start creating posts. So I'm going to take you through a few examples and some of the top tips around creating content on LinkedIn. This is what we call a long form text post. So it's all written and published directly to LinkedIn, but it uses up the character limit. So you'll see how long this is across these 2 slides. This is one post. Let me break down the key components and sort of top tips with this. So you want to tell an engaging story. You first need to open it up. So the first 3 lines are all that's visible on LinkedIn. Someone has to open the post to read the rest of it. So all they're going to see is, you don't need to sell ice to an Eskimo unless they need it, of course. Stop trying to sell to anyone and everyone. That's all they'll see. But for my industry, for salespeople, that's an opening line that's going to connect with them. You don't need to sell ice to an Eskimo. Everyone in sales knows that's the age-old, sort of respect. Oh yeah, he's great at sales. He could sell ice to an Eskimo. But that's not the case anymore. People aren't judged on their ability to sell something to someone who doesn't need it. That's going to get you a complaint and probably a negative review and, possibly a warning for your job. Now it's about finding the right people to sell to. And that's what this post was all about. So I open it with a nice bold opening. You'll notice those spaces between the sentences. They are so important. People are scrolling when they read on social media. So when you spread out and put those spaces, it drives more engagement because it's easier for them to read. When you see big, chunky paragraphs on LinkedIn or any social site, they tend to put you off because no one wants to sit and read like that. They want to read as they scroll. So take them through the scroll, take them through the story, have some sort of bullet point styles. You don't have to have capital letters, but I do because that's the sort of way that I talk and I want it to sort of, it's me. You want to be yourself, write as yourself, take people through that journey. Then a few little top tips at the bottom. Hashtags. Have no more than 3 hashtags on a post. Anything more than that tends to go against the algorithm, and try and make them the most relevant hashtags. I tend to stick to 3: hashtag sales, hashtag social selling, and hashtag LinkedIn. And they might change occasionally depending on the topic of the post, but no more than 3. You can tag people into the post. So I might have put, you don't need to sell us to an Eskimo unless they need it, of course. I was inspired to write this post after having a chat with, and then I tag in the person I spoke with. Only tag people in when it's relevant. You don't have to do it for engagement. Another quick example then, just to give you another example of a long post. Managers, tomorrow is the last day of the month. Instead of putting pressure on your sales team, why not take it away? ? And again, one of those thought-provoking ones that salespeople, sales leaders will look at that and think, yeah, okay, fair point. Take them through the journey, explaining, your story in essence, and then nice, positive, motivating end. My advice: make the last day fun, energetic, focused, and driven. Happy salespeople create happy customers. Happy customers help you hit your targets. Nice, positive, inspiring, drives good engagement. And that's what we want. We want to drive engagement. You can also do short form text-based posts. So a sentence, a couple of sentences. What I would recommend is only look to do these when you've built a personal brand. If you start doing these straight away, you've not built an audience, you've not built trust or credibility. It's not giving enough value up front. So I'd recommend going with these sort of posts for the first month, 6 weeks. Then you can start to look at these more to the point or humorous based posts. So this one, trick or treating is like cold calling training for kids. This only did well because I have a brand. I see a lot of people who don't have brands try to do these sort of posts, but they're just not giving enough value, so they don't drive good engagement. All right, let's go into images. So you can take photos and share images. And this is a great opportunity, again, to create visual content. A couple of quick examples. I'll take you through the stories very, very briefly. The chocolate bar. I had a friend of mine send me a chocolate bar. Sort of long story short, it was a new special edition chocolate bar. I couldn't find it anywhere. I told him about this over some dinner, and he then went out, spent 2 weeks trying to find one, managed to find one, and posted it to me. So I took a photo and I shared it with the story, but added a twist and sort of said, look, this was a gift from a friend. What if that was a salesperson trying to sell to me? And they listened to a story on a phone call, or they recognized it through the content I share. They saw that I'd spoken about this chocolate bar. They then made the effort and posted it to me. That's going to get my attention. And it was sort of highlighting the importance of going the extra mile for your prospects and customers and the opportunities that can create. The next image is me holding a book. Book reviews, probably the easiest bit of content to create. One of the things I always recommend to people to start with, because most of you would have read books that you like, that are work relevant. So obviously writing your thoughts and writing a review on the book is valuable, but if you can add a photo with it, it adds you, which means people get to see you. The more they see you, the more they get to know you, the more comfortable they feel with you, because they start to see you a lot. I have conversations now with prospects, and the first thing they say to me, Dan, I feel like I know you already. I've never spoken to them properly before, but the first time we jump on a Zoom or the first time we jump on a call, they already feel like they know me because of everything I put out on social media. That's the power of it. So having a photo of you in there really helps. Obviously holding the book. I will admit it's quite tricky holding your phone and holding a book and trying to use your finger to take the picture. It's not easy, but it takes a good photo when you can get it right. Photos at events. So the wonderful ASAS conference from last year, I think it was. Nice selfie on stage. Now, obviously, as a speaker, I get to do those lovely stage selfies. But even if you're not speaking, when I go to events, I will take selfies with all the people I meet. And then I put them into a collage and I share them in a post. So people get to see lots of pictures of me and all the people that I'm, talking to. I can tag all those people in that post. Great to catch up with so-and-so, 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 and so-and-so, which is going to help drive engagement. I get a good photo. And again, people get to see me immersed in my industry, attending key events. The next image is a little doodle. I'm not an artist, but I can draw a half decent cartoon. You don't have to draw. Even just handwriting some thoughts and taking a photo, it breaks away from the digital content. And people like that. People like to see sort of, natural stuff as well. Final example on photos is a picture of me and my youngest son, Josh. It can really work well if you do this the right way. So you can't share posts like this all the time. I will share a post like this 2 to 3 times a year max, and it has to be relevant. So in this photo and the post that was written with it, I had spent all week training. So Monday to Friday, early till late. I didn't see my kids at all for a whole week. It was horrible. So that weekend I dedicated to them. Phone away, LinkedIn away, took them out. We did lots of cool stuff like driving little boats like this. And I got to share a photo with that story. And it showed a few things that helped. Number one, it showed that I was hardworking. So I'm showing my prospects and potential customers that I'm dedicated to what I do. I'm very driven, very motivated, and I work very hard for my customers. Then it shows them that I'm not just someone working or a salesperson, that I'm a dad, that I have a son, that I care for my children, that everything I do is for my children. Suddenly you become a human being, and those trust barriers start to lower down because they see you in a different way. Suddenly I'm not just Dan in the red t-shirt, I'm also Dan the dad. That's my kid. And we're driving a boat. I'm not as good as driving a boat as I am at training people on LinkedIn, but it made a good photo and a good post. Videos are growing rapidly on LinkedIn. And again, you can do videos of book reviews. So having you hold the book and record a video, it's a bit easier than holding your phone, and just share your thoughts about a book that you've read that you've enjoyed. Works really well. So a few content top tips. Aim to share at least one piece of content per day. Ideally, Monday to Friday, one bit of content per day. If you're not sharing content at the moment, just start with 2 to 3 posts a week. You don't have to jump straight into 5. Just get started. 1, 2, 3 posts a week. Just start getting comfortable. The more confident you get, the easier doing it every day will become. What I will say is content is all around you. When I started, if someone said, Dan, you need to put content on LinkedIn, I would have been, I don't know what to write about. And it's only when you start to immerse yourself in it, you realize there are content opportunities everywhere. Stories you can share. Everyone has stories. Each and every one of you watching this now, you all have so many stories to share that your audience will find valuable. The key is learning to find those stories and then write them or present them in the right way. That's all you need to learn to do. I've given you some great tips on how to do that. Now it's just about digging in and thinking about, okay, what stories could I share? What content could I create? If you want to keep it really simple, 2 things you could do to share a post today that's going to be really easy. Number 1, share a post about this event. Make a screenshot, take a photo, take a selfie of you whilst you're at your desk learning. There's lots of different ways you could do it, but write or take a photo or a video, do a post about today's event, the Booking Manager Summit. Write about it. Write about the people that you're watching or you're listening to, some of the lessons that you've learned. Maybe you're networking with some of your industry colleagues, tag them in. Just write a nice post that's going to show your network that you're immersed in learning and being at the forefront of your industry. And it's a nice, easy bit of content. It's nothing complicated. You're writing about what you're doing today and tomorrow. One place to start. Next place to start is do a book review and just share a nice photo or a text review of a book that you've read, but really try and provide some of the things that really stood out for you in that book. 2 simple posts that you can get started with today that shouldn't take too much sort of confidence to overcome any fear. Over time, share a variety of content forms. So share images, texts, videos. Don't just do one type. People like variety. Make sure they all align to your industry. Make sure they're beneficial and valuable to your audience. Keep them customer focused and use the 80-20 split. So 80% of the content you share should be valuable to your prospects and customers. 20% can be then promotional about what it is you sell. Tell stories, have those spaces, tag people and have those hashtags. Give it a go. If you do a post today, tag me in, send it to me. I'd love to see it. And I'll make sure I click like and engage with it as well. But that's my challenge. Go and create content. Turning it into money. That's what we're here for. We want to turn LinkedIn and social into revenue. Few top tips. You can see who's viewed your profile on LinkedIn. So once you've updated your profile and you know you've got a good one, start checking those views. Some of them will be prospects. Send them a message. Hi, John. Thanks for viewing my profile today. Ask them a question. I'd love to know what your company's doing about social selling at the moment. Check your likes and comments. So when people do click a like and add a comment to your posts, some of them might be prospects. So check, send them a message. Hi, Sarah. Thanks for clicking like on my post today. Ask them a question. Fill your audience, your network with prospects and customers. Always give more than you take. Hence the 80-20 split. Give more value than asking for stuff back. And just make sure you position yourself in the right place. If you want to be seen as a thought leader, you need to act like a thought leader. If you're always sort of, gushing over everyone else, you're not giving enough focus on you. So make sure you show the place you should be. And anyone can be a thought leader. You don't need to be an expert. There are entry-level sales development reps building these huge brands as thought leaders, not because they're telling people what to do, they're just sharing their journey, what's working for them, what's not working for them. You just need to be honest. Anyone has value to give. We all have stories, we all have experience, we're all doing something that's going to be valuable to other people. So 3 super simple steps that I hope you're able to go and apply today. Go and update your LinkedIn profiles, make them much better profiles, start growing your network every day. You start doing that today. Connect with the people you listen to, connect with the people you network with, start growing your LinkedIn network and start sharing content. I hope I get to see some posts today, either posting about the event or posting about a book, whatever you want to write about. Go out there and create some content. I'm empowering you, giving you the confidence to go and do it, because the hardest part is getting started. Once you start, it becomes a lot easier. If it's your first post, that's going to be tricky. Even if it's not your first post, go and start creating something a little bit different. That's today's session finished. I hope it's been helpful. I believe we're going to open the floor now to questions, but beyond this question session, if you want to get in touch for anything, my email address and website is on there. So I hope that you've enjoyed it. And now we will open up to questions. Let me see if there is a chat box. Okay, so I'm not too sure how questions are going to work. I'll wait for someone from the event to maybe facilitate this. Okay, so unless there's no questions coming through at the moment, I will obviously wait for a while. If you have questions, please let me know. Feel free to ping me one over an email right now. Again, I'm not too sure how this is going to work through the virtual delivery. I will start sharing some random tips while we sort of wait for any questions to come through, just to make sure the value keeps coming through. But anyway, I hope you've enjoyed the session. So a few other top tips. There's some new forms of content on LinkedIn. So you can do LinkedIn polls now, where you can ask a question and have 4 options that people can vote for. These are proving to be really good. Just make sure you create polls that are valuable to your audience, that ask good questions. But it's a great form of content. So, I might do one saying, what is your most sort of powerful source of leads at the moment? And I might put social selling, cold calling, email, networking, and get people to vote. And it provides really good insights that drives really good engagement as well. I did one at the weekend, which was, what is your LinkedIn SSI score? So your LinkedIn social selling index. Free to access. It's LinkedIn's own score on how good you are at social selling. And I provided the link, and then people could vote. And I think over 500 people voted, and it gave me an insight into sort of where people ranked and how much they're using LinkedIn. So again, really beneficial, and it provides me opportunities to then connect with everyone who engaged and, potentially sell them my training. Okay, so we've got no questions coming through. So let's wrap this up so you guys can get ready for your next session. I really hope you've enjoyed it. I really hope you've taken a lot away. Do reach out to me with any questions you have after today. And hopefully I might see some of you, if not all of you, on my next session later this morning, which is going to be digging into advanced social selling strategies. We're going to dig into some advanced LinkedIn techniques. So with that, I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Hope you enjoy the other sessions and the rest of this amazing event. And hopefully I will see some of you later on. Take care, everyone.